Marc Raimondi for ESPN, joined today by the one and only Themba Gorimbo, Zimbabwe's own. Of course, you fight Pete Rodriguez on February 3rd at the Apex UFC Fight Night in Las Vegas. Themba, I have a lot that I want to ask you. We've talked here and there, but I had not actually asked you everything about that's going on in your life and what's going on back home, the things that you're doing for the people back home. But first, I want to ask you a little bit about last weekend. Toronto, Rodriguez du Plessis from South Africa. You train in South Africa. He brings the UFC middleweight title back home to South Africa. How do you feel about this?
Look, honestly, it's inspiring what happened last week with Rodriguez. It's something that is very rare to happen, and he made it happen, and it just comes down to his work ethic and his self-belief for himself. And like it is amazing what happened. You know, I really, really was inspired. Knowing that I have trained and that I have been we fought on the same organizations. I was the welterweight champion when he left to go to the middleweight, and then I became the welterweight champion. And for that fight, actually, I trained with him. And yeah, it's just a blessing that you get to see people achieving their goals and their dreams. For me, it's nothing but inspiring that what it can be done. I'm here now also, and I'm fortunate enough to be in the UFC already, and I'm going for this same goal that is that is to become the UFC welterweight champion.
Have you say you train with him a lot or just for that one training camp?
Oh yeah, oh it's like cross training. Like me and him we used to link up on Thursdays and train. So yeah, man. I had my own gym, so I used to train in my own gym, but on Thursdays I would train with him. So it is a blessing that for him to achieve his dream. It's nice to see, and it's something that is out of this world. And yeah, man, dreams do come true.
You have this big fight coming up against Pete Rodriguez. Tell me a little bit about the opponent and what's going on in your life, because when you first moved to the United States, it was very different than where you are right now.
For me, like I've got this big fight coming up with Pete Rodriguez, who I truly respect, and for taking the fight, firstly, and I believe he's gonna come out there guns blazing, for the fight. With everything that has happened, right, in my life and all the changes, firstly, I give that to God and I thank Him for the blessings. And secondly, I want to thank Dwayne Johnson for all the help that he has given me and the platform that he's given me to go out there and be able to live here with my family and everybody who supports me truly from their heart. That is my wife and my two daughters. It's always a blessing to be waking up every day and seeing them before I go to training, and it just keeps on motivating me, and I keep working hard. I'm already a hard worker naturally, and for them to just see them being happy like that and being here, it's a blessing. So it just motivates me to work even harder. I've been a hard worker before this, and can you imagine what has been happening now leading up to this fight? I mean, I've been working so hard that sometimes I wonder where the energy is coming from, and it will come to show when the night comes.
I do want to ask you about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and just a few days ago he was named to the board of directors of TKO, right? So he's kind of like the boss right now a little bit in some respects for the UFC and WWE. But a few months ago, back in July, I know that he did something very special, and I want to ask you about that just to kind of set it up. So when you came to the United States from Africa, and I know you're from Zimbabwe, you were training in South Africa, you came to the States with just a few bucks, right? $7 and change, under $8 with you. And that is something that touched Dwayne Johnson because he was in a similar position a very long time ago where he had $7 to his name. And that's where his production company comes from, $7 Productions. And it touched him, your story. So tell me how this all came together, because it was a surprise for you. So tell me how all this came together, and what was that surprise like back last summer?
So firstly, I want to clarify this. I didn't come to America with $7. On the day of the fight, I had $7 in my
Got it.
bank account after buying the medicine because I was sick on the day of the fight. When I fought Takashi, I got sick in the morning. Then I decided to buy medicine, and I was left with $7, $7.49 in my bank account. And I decided to take a screenshot of that because I said to myself, and this is quite tough. I didn't have money to buy breakfast for that morning, for me and my team. And it was just like, a very sad moment, but I had to go and fight because, my back is against the wall. I was coming off that loss. So my back was really against the wall, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take a picture of this $7.49 that I have in my bank account. And later on, when I go out there and perform and win and become the winner and I get the bonus, that's the 50K. I wanna post this, that this is where I was in the morning, and look at me now. I have the extra 50K. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that I got the 50K after the fight because I didn't perform very well. I was sick. I won, and I'm very grateful for the win. Every win counts in this life, and you must be celebrating every win that you have. And I was very, very, very happy. And you know what? I decided to still share the story of me having $7 in the morning, and you know, because a lot of people would have been broken in that situation. A lot of people would be like wondering where they can be, where they would be, you know, especially in the circumstance that I was under, being so sick on the day of the fight, on a fight that it's a must-win fight. Um, Showing that that type of resilience and going out there and becoming victorious is just something that is inspiring, and I wanted to share that. And then Dwayne Johnson, he actually said to me, when he did the surprise and everything that he did for me, he said to me, thank. So one of the guys that he works with, he says, thank this guy because he's the one that saw your post and he showed me. And those are things that are rare to find. It's just even him, like how I look at it, like in this life, God plans this life before we are here. Just for him to be in the same position that I was in, to have $7, it's rare, right? Then for me to be in the $7 situation too, it's rare. So it's just like God put these two puzzles together, and for him to be in a position where he helped me so much. You know, I don't think it's a normal situation. I think it's just showing that God really does exist, and it's a miracle. And I'm blessed to be in this position, and I'm very super grateful. And yeah, man, it's been nothing short but a blessing to be here right now. And yeah, man, that's why I'm always grateful of the good and the bad. I was in a bad situation where I was broke, but look what happened after that because of that certain situation. And one day
So
at a
I,
time, I hope someone can get inspired by my story.
so I want to go back a little bit because you had the fight, of course. You had 749. You won the fight, biggest win of your career so far. But you were still sleeping on the floor, right, in the gym at MMA
No,
Masters,
on the
right? It
couch, on
was
the couch, on the
on the
couch. Yeah,
couch, on the couch at
yeah.
MMA Masters. How did that come about? And like that could not have been very comfortable for you.
Oh, it's super comfortable. Come on, bro. I come from Zimbabwe. When me growing up, when we slept on the floor at times.
Yeah.
Rupasa is something like made of reeds where we sleep on. So being on the couch, it's super comfortable, bro. Like, come on. I people think about suffering and all that stuff. When I hear some people talking about the suffering and stuff, I don't judge, but I just kind of like in my heart, I'm like, I guess these people have not been in situations where there is like, and where I come from, we suffered, right? But
Mhm.
there is some real suffering too, a degree as well that is way worse than where I was. And when I see some people complaining about things and certain situations, for me, I'm just looking and I look to the side normally and just feel like, I guess these people don't know exactly what it is like to be suffering. So like when I'm sleeping on the couch for me, what happened is that I messaged Coach Daniel Bavere and said to him, hey, I want to come and train in America and I want to find myself after the loss, I wanted to find myself and just be away from everybody and come and train. Then he said to me, we don't have rooms. So there's rooms at the gym. He said to me that we don't have rooms in the gym where you can actually sleep. Unless you wait until this day, then you can come. Then I said to him, no, 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 no. I want to come. I want to come there. I can sleep on the mat. I don't mind. I just want to get away and find myself. And I said, okay, cool, come. Then I went there. Then they said to me, there's a couch there if you want to sleep on the couch. Then I said, oh, thank you. That's a plus. So I made my corner where I slept on the couch. And for me, I'm not here to have a luxury life. It will come with with things that happen, with the wins that are coming and more things that are coming. But I'm not here for that. I'm here to be a champion. I want to be the champion. And in my heart, I am a champion already. I've been a champion before, and once and always, you can always be the champion again. And that's what I'm here for. That's what drives me. I'm not here to try and be living good, looking like a superstar. Like other people have got different drives, and I don't judge nobody. My drive is to become the UFC welterweight champion, and I'm gonna do anything and everything in my power to make sure that happens. And I'm gonna control my destiny. And I wouldn't mind even right now to sleep on the couch. I wouldn't mind right now to do to do this all over again.
Let me ask you about sleeping on the couch because how does that work? You're at the gym, right? The mats are kind of all around you, right? You're in the corner. People are coming in at what time? Like you get up, brush your teeth, wash your face at the gym. Like how does shower? How does that work?
So like it's not right at the bottom. The gym has got two floors. So it's upstairs where the couch is. So basically what I would do, I mean, it's in the corner. They in the beginning it was a little bit chaotic, like people would make noise. They're not used to having someone in the
Hmm.
place where they used to thing. And but with time, everybody started respecting and be like, a little bit silent. But it is difficult to sleep on a place where everybody kinds of like pass around and you're trying to prepare for a fight and everything like that. So it was a little bit difficult in the beginning, but it is life. Life, you have to face challenges, and sometimes to a degree where you are sleeping on the couch and do what you gotta do to get what you want in life. And yeah, it was just it's a passage, it's a place where everyone can pass through anytime. You don't have privacy. But I'm a guy that wakes up very early. Well, no matter where I am, I wake up every morning at 4 a.m. latest.
Or
So yeah, at 4 a.m.
what?
latest. Yeah, no matter where I am, no matter what time I sleep. If I sleep at 12, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. So it does not matter
Wow,
where I am. So I would wake up and do my work before other people and then
wow.
get my breakfast and stuff like that and still do work before the team training again. So this is my rule. I don't want to give away much about how I
Yeah,
do my
yeah.
things, but I do work extremely hard. And yeah, man,
So
I
set the
just do what I
scene
have
for
to do.
me. It's July of 2023, and they sit you down for what you're told is like a video interview, like a video shoot, right? But it wasn't just a video shoot. Tell me about this.
Yeah, so they kind of lied to me there. They say to me there is an interview with the people from The Rock, and they want to interview you, and some of the security guards will come through and try to search the area, and you'll probably come maybe next month or when you come back from Africa, because I was supposed to leave for Africa the following day.
Um,
And they say, oh, then I said, okay, cool, no problem. Then I did the interview. Um, then when I did the interview, when I was doing the interview, then the lady was asking me a little bit of like very emotional questions that I was really, really, really like attached to the interview and stuff like that, that I didn't even notice that she was behind me. And yeah, man, it was very, yeah, they are smart. They were smart. They played me. But it was a blessing, yeah, yeah. Even thinking of it, the video that I posted about the whole thing and everybody posted. I actually try not to watch that video because if I watch it every time I would watch that video, I end up crying. So I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch that video because I know exactly how I was feeling in that moment in time, and yeah, I try not to watch the video because yeah, eh, yeah, it is tough. It is quite tough. Yeah, it is. It's not tough. Like it's a blessing.
of course.
But for me, mentally, knowing where I was, for other people, it's easier to watch it. For me, I know exactly the feeling I had, and when you live the moment and you relive it, what happened will always happen. I cried that day, and I don't want to keep on crying. Yeah, but it's life.
So you turn around and he's there, and it's one of those things where you're not expecting to see him, but you see him. What is that?
Yeah,
What is that emotion like? And like, when does it like when does it hit you that it's him? And tell me about what happens next after that too.
yeah, man. You can go and watch the video again. it was a little bit tough. It is tough, because you know what? I didn't expect him to be there, firstly. But also like, it's just like you, brother. Like, would you think somebody like him would just come show up? Even I didn't know anything and everything that was gonna happen and everything. Can you imagine if they told me everything that was gonna happen and then my man, I would have collapsed or died there, because it's just like surreal, like because I know what kind of a people like people at that level. Even myself, I'm very busy with my training and my schedule. I don't even sometimes find time to be doing certain things. For him to make time to just come there and show up, even if it was for the 1 second or whatsoever, it's it's something out of this world. Many people wish to be in that position. That's why I am super grateful of this life and everything that happened. And, because, if you take things for granted, they'll be taken away from you very quickly. And I take that moment to my heart forever. And it's a blessing to be able to be supported by a person like himself. Uh,
And we should probably
it's
say what came next, right? He got you a house, right? He got you a place to live, not the corner of the gym on the couch anymore.
Yeah, man. It's crazy how this life works, my brother. It's super crazy. Um, yeah, I didn't expect that. Yeah, man, you're gonna make me emotional. I've got the fight next week. Let's yeah, let's try. Yeah, let me try focus a little bit for the fight.
Okay. I don't want you
We'll
to
talk
cry
about it
on that.
after the fight. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
have you I'm curious, have you spoken to him at all since then? Have you guys been in contact?
Yeah. I do, I
Yeah.
do. I'm in contact with DJ. And,
Yeah.
yeah, every time also, like I said, every time he would message me, it's because he messages you like midnight or I don't know what time where he is or
Yeah.
whatever time it is like for me, and you wake up and you see this messages, you go run and go do something and you are more motivated, and he messages me sometimes just to just wish me, luck and say to me. He always reminds me though, one thing that he always does remind me at the end of his message is like, hey, remember, you have to put in the work. And that always is in the back of my head, And for him to be where he is right now, he had to work so hard to be there. And he understands what comes with certain things. Some people get complacent and don't work hard. They think life is great now. Brother, I want to tell you something. My whole life, I've always been a hard worker. But ever since this whole thing happened, my work ethic has gone to a level where I must sometimes sit down and look at myself like, what's going on? Where am I getting this energy? It's just I think everything happened for a big reason, and we'll find out.
Tell me a little bit about, and this is the last thing, and I know you're busy in camp, but tell me a little bit about some of the things that you're doing to give back to your people, in Zimbabwe, because you were at the Fighters Only World MMA Awards just a few weeks ago, and you were talking about that. You won an award there. Tell me a little bit about this.
Look, those things that I do back in my country, it's just things that come with with moments and times. Like I think of things that I wanna do. Like if time and life and everything allows it, I wanna do bigger things in my country, because I know the circumstances that my country is in and things can be better. But you know what? Instead of complaining and pointing fingers and saying things are not where they are because of them or here or her or whatsoever, I would rather add value, and do what I can with what I have. So, like, let's say with the water wells, the boreholes in my village, it only came about when I discovered that I had bilharzia, you know, and I realized I know when I contaminated bilharzia when I was still young, when I was 13 years old, I contaminated bilharzia and I was scared to use to treat it, and I thought it was gone. But
And
when we
that and
did
that's
use it.
sorry to interrupt you, just so people know, that's something when you drink dirty water, right? That's like a the
Yeah,
disease.
it comes from drinking, swimming, or
Yep.
anything with that has to do with water. In Africa, it's a major thing. And when I found out that I had that, then I knew straight away that, hey, I'm lucky that this doctor found out that I have this. But you know what? There's many other people that are in this same circumstance. With time, you think of the next thing that you want to do. You know, when I was there visiting my village, and it was a long time before I visited my village for me to be there. You know, I went there, visited, and saw all the grannies and all the old people there. One thing that touched me was seeing my uncle who is 92 and he's fit and like he's very fit.
Okay.
People are still even scared to go to his house. But one thing he does not have is the eyesight, and it's due to cataract.
Mm.
And I had one of the boys that used to train in my gym that had cataract and it was fixed. And I realized, oh, it's a fixable thing. And I said to myself, you know what? After my next fight, I want to auction my kit and be able to go out there and fix his eyesight and fix few other people that are in the village that can see and fix because trust me, it's a lot of money to fix that stuff. If you are in that circumstance in the village,
Yeah.
those guys can't even afford to get $100. Can you imagine trying to get $1,000 or $2,000 to fix cataract, bro? It's a no-no. They would rather live with it because they can't afford to fix it. So that's my mission. That was my mission, and you know, Dustin Poirier helped me, and
Saw that.
he donated $10,000
That's
to
great.
the cause. And after the fight, I'm gonna do that. I still wanna auction my fight kit. Like I will always do something with my fight kit that is to help where I come from. So the
How
next
many
mission,
do you know how many water wells you've been able to get so far?
I've done four. I've
Four.
done
And you want to
four.
do more this year, right?
I've done that part now. It's over.
Okay.
I'm not gonna continue doing that. It's a quite a mission to do that,
Yeah.
and sometimes if they break, because sometimes guys just come to me and say they can fix it, they can do it, and
Yeah.
then if they break, it's a mission for me to be calling and trying to follow up on people. You know, I try to do things that, luckily, right now all of them are working. But
But you're
yeah,
gonna
it's
focus, so you're
sometimes
gonna focus more on the cataracts, the situation of
no,
that.
the contract is already fixed. That's simple. You
Oh,
donated the
that's
money.
amazing.
The next one is big one for me. That is something I thought about while I was running few weeks ago. I was running, you know, these ideas come up when I'm doing my own thing, running or training. So I was running and thinking to myself, you know what? I passed my high school. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So basically, the next thing that I'm doing, this one I'll probably do it with my own money. I want to build a library in my village with
Oh,
solar
amazing.
panels so that the kids in my village can be able, and the surrounding villages can be able to study at night after school because sometimes they can't study because they don't have money to buy paraffin or anything. So this is what I'm going to be able to do on this next fight. After this next fight, I want to go out and build a library and maybe a small gym for the older, you know, something that can entertain them. But the main thing is to build a small library. That's just to build a building and put solar panel and people can do whatever they want at night at that place and study. Kids especially must go there and study. And you know, maybe one person can be a genius from my village due to this, you know, and it's just small things, small steps, one step at a time, try to make a difference. And yeah, that's my
Amazing.
next mission, which I'm going to do with my own money. What I'll do with my kit, I don't know. I'm still to think about that. But yeah, the next mission is build a library in my village.
Amazing, man. Paying it forward. And we wish you all the best, of course, in this fight coming up against Pete Rodriguez. Should be a big one. And everything else that you're working on, congrats, man. And you're really doing great things for the world. So thank you as well.